Hello, welcome back to the KatCarollo channel. Thanks for tuning in on today's episode of Everyday Makeover. I get asked sometimes, what do I do on a daily basis to make my face look flawless? Let me just correct that. My face is not flawless. I do have flaws, but I do have a routine that I like to go through in the morning before I go out to make my face have a little bit of a highlight, a contour. Sometimes I wear fake lashes. If I don't, then I put on my unique 3D fiber lashes. But I'm going to go by a step-by-step so you can see what I do for a quick makeup makeover. I use products such as MAC, Anastasia, Beverly Hills, but majority of the products that I use are made by Tarte Cosmetics. I also use Becca foundation, but all in all, Tarte Cosmetics win my daily makeover. So I'm going to go ahead and start my tutorial and go step by step, and I hope you like it. First, I'm going to start with my Lancome Visionare. I'm going to go ahead and place this all over my face using my hands. I like to go even. Really just, this is kind of what I use as my primer before my actual primer, which is step number 2. The Tarte BB primer and tint. This has a nice tint to it. I use the medium color, and I make sure that I do a full coverage on my face with my hands, only because sometimes if I'm rushing to put my foundation on, I like to make sure that my face is completely covered, and this helps because it has that tint. If I miss a spot with my foundation, it's not that big of a deal, and it's not that harsh on my skin. It has a nice finish to it, and it doesn't make my face oily, and that's a big problem that I have with primer. Step number 3, I'm going to use the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. I'm going to go ahead and use a blending bud for this. A quick trick of the trade is that I spray my blending bud with setting spray. I don't dip it in water to dampen it. I spray it with setting spray, and it makes my concealer last a lot longer. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my T-zone and under my eyes, and that's really to just really lighten up my highlight part. And as you see, I just make sure that I blend it well. I don't rub it, I just like to pat it. Step 4, I'm going to use the Becca foundation. I just recently started using this foundation, and I really like it. It has really nice coverage. There's no particular pattern that I do. This every day I have dots on different parts. So what I do is I just put it on my hand, and I use my finger to just apply it all over. And then once again, I spray a blending bud, and I go in on my face by dabbing my blending bud all over the foundation to get complete coverage. I'm using a blending bud just because I think that it sometimes is a little faster than having to constantly pull brushes out. And like I said, this is for my everyday look. This is not what I do on clients, but this is what I do on my own face every day. I really like to make sure I get every part on my face. But like I said, I'll put the tinted primer on first, and that will cover any spots that I might have missed. Step 5 is the MAC. This is Studio Fix NW18. I use this for under my eyes, and this is to set in the concealer that I had just put on, and this is really to lighten it up. The next Studio Fix I'm going to use is going to be I think it's NC actually. Yeah, NC25. And I just put this all over the rest of my face to go ahead and set everything else. For my contour, I go ahead and use the NC45. And as you can see, I'm doing my typical typical contouring. My cheekbones, around my temple, and under my chin to just get rid of that good old-fashioned double chin. It doesn't get rid of it, people, but it does hide it a bit. Then I go ahead and on my nose, just to make my nose look a little thinner, as you can see. And that is my contour. Now I'm going to go ahead and attack these eyebrows. I go ahead and use Anastasia Beverly Hills for my eyebrows. Every day, sometimes, my eyebrows look completely different, but I always try to outline them underneath, above the brow bone, and just fill in any spots. Once I do this, I try to make sure that they're even. It is not always happening, and sometimes I have to use concealer to outline them better. After I do this, I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills gel, the brow gel, and I just go over. Oops, got it on my forehead. It happens, especially every day, because I do this a lot in my car when my husband is driving, so it always tends to get everywhere. But this is my eyebrow look for today, and like I said, it does change quite often. But like I said, I use the brow gel after Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now I'm going to use my Tarte eyeshadow palette. I really like these colors for my everyday use because they're very neutral and natural looking. Nothing's too heavy. And for every day, I don't like to go too heavy on my eyeshadow. You'll see I'm going to go ahead and use the light color at my brow bone and over my eyelid. And then every day I switch it up on my crease. Sometimes I use a darker brown, sometimes I use a lighter brown. It really depends on what I'm wearing that day or what the weather's like outside or what my mood is, to be honest. If I'm having a sad type of day, then I go a little bit darker. If I'm having a happy day, I go a little lighter. Or if I'm just having one of those days where I don't know what the day is going to turn out, I go in between. And you'll see I go in the crease and I really blend it. I went a little darker on the outside, and just make sure you blend your eyeshadow. I say this all the time because there's nothing worse than having harsh lines. Now I always wipe off the fall. Now I'm going to go ahead and use that Illamasqua eyeliner, liquid eyeliner that I got in my Ipsy bag. And I'm going to go ahead and do my connect the dots. I draw 3 dots and just outline them. You'll see on the tutorial I posted last, my winged eyeliner. And this is what I do. You see, there is always times that my winged eyeliner looks completely horrific, and that's just because I'm rushing. And there's sometimes I just don't even put eyeliner on. This is the life of a makeup artist. It cannot always be perfect, but you just keep practicing. And there is my everyday look. I hope you all like it. See you later. Well, that's the end of my lovely everyday tutorial. I hope you all liked it. I hope that you've learned something from it. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can like, you can comment, you can share, whatever you would like to do. Please, if you want to see a certain tutorial or ask me any questions, don't hesitate. And until next week or next tutorial, might be the end of this weekend, I hope everyone has a happy and safe Easter. Enjoy time with your family and friends. And until next tutorial, love you guys. Bye.